If you've ever felt like your student loan balance stays stagnant no matter how many payments you make, you aren't alone. It is a common frustration for parents who are still feeling the weight of those old bills. This happens when any interest you haven't paid off gets added directly into the original amount you borrowed. This new, larger total becomes the amount the lender uses to calculate your next bill. Because your total balance is now higher, it generates more interest than it did the month before. This creates a cycle where the debt begins to grow exponentially, with each new dollar of interest generating its own interest, month after month. This is compound interest. For someone trying to pay off a loan, it can feel like a trap that keeps the balance high for decades. However, the exact same math that makes debt so difficult to pay off is also the most powerful way to build wealth. If you know how to flip the script, you can put this compounding cycle to work for you. Many families build wealth by using this compounding math in reverse, starting a cycle of growth for their children as early as possible. A common way they do this is through a juvenile life insurance policy. Setting up a policy like this for a baby gives them an extra 25 years for their money to grow. It is a way to secure a significant financial head start before they even reach adulthood. By putting away small amounts while a child is young, you are leveraging their greatest asset, time. Over the years, those contributions transform into a safety net that the child can use for their own needs later in life. To understand how these policies work, think of the different ways you can live in a home. Term life insurance is like paying rent. You have a place to stay for a set amount of time, but you don't own anything when you move out. Whole life insurance is more like a traditional mortgage. You are buying the home, and every payment helps you build a little bit of equity that stays with you. Then there is Indexed Universal Life, or IUL. This is like buying a house in a neighborhood where prices are rising quickly. Your growth is tied to the stock market, so it can grow faster, but there is a floor built in to make sure you don't lose equity if the market goes down. Because a newborn has their whole life ahead of them, an IUL provides a way to pursue higher growth while keeping the money they've already saved protected. When you put money into this policy, think of it like filling a bucket. A tiny amount drains out of a side spout to pay for the insurance coverage. The rest of the money stays in the bucket and becomes your cash value. This cash value earns interest every year. As that interest is added to the bucket, it begins to earn interest on itself. It's similar to a snowball rolling down a mountain. It starts small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow. Because it is now larger, it gathers even more snow on the next turn, naturally gaining size as it goes. The child doesn't have to manage investments or trade stocks. The math of compounding does the work automatically over the next several decades. Let's look at an actual breakdown of how this growth looks over a child's life. This chart shows a policy for a 1-year-old girl. Her family contributes $6,000 a year. By the time she is 11, the account has grown to over $75,000. By age 20, those same annual contributions have helped the account grow to nearly $195,000. The compounding effect is now moving much faster. Look at this row for age 70. Even though the family stopped putting money in years ago, the account value has grown to nearly $7 million. This data shows that the most significant growth happens in the later years. Starting at age 1 gives the money more time to reach those high-growth decades. The Department of Education shows the difference starting age makes. Imagine saving $1,000 at 6%. Wait until age 25, and by 65, you have $10,000. Start at birth, and that same deposit grows to over $44,000. That $34,000 gap is the result of starting the clock 25 years earlier. It is the simple math of giving interest more time to multiply. Throughout a child's life, the policy changes to meet their needs. During childhood, parents fund the account and ensure the child will always have insurance coverage, regardless of their future health. As they reach their 20s and 30s, they can begin to use the cash they've accumulated. This money can be accessed without taxes to help pay for their education or a down payment on a home. Later in life, they can use the account as a source of tax-free income for retirement, or eventually leave it behind as a legacy for the next generation. If you give compound interest enough time, the math handles the hardest parts for you. By starting early, you ensure that the momentum is already there by the time your child needs it.